Am I the asshole for cutting off my DIL after she trashed me on social media to strangers? My hands were shaking as I rewatched the video my niece sent me. It was my daughter-in-law, Ashley, talking to her phone with tears in her eyes about her toxic, boundary-stomping mill. She didn't use my name, but she didn't have to. Every one of her thousands of followers now knew I was the monster who suggested buying a walker and dared to bring over a non-organic casserole. A private family moment had been turned into public entertainment. I'm Brenda, 64 years old, a retired nurse living in a quiet suburb outside Dallas. The last year has been the happiest of my life because of my first and only grandchild, baby Liam. My son, Mark, married Ashley, 38 years old, a few years ago. She's a mommy influencer. And while I never understood her job of posting pictures of her lunch online, I tried to be supportive. When Liam was born, I thought my 40 years of nursing experience would be helpful. I wanted to be the involved, loving grandmother I always dreamed of being. But every attempt I made to help was met with a tight smile. When I mentioned the old trick of putting a little rice cereal in the bottle to help Liam sleep, she looked at me like I'd suggested feeding him poison. When I bought him an adorable baby walker, she sent me a dozen articles about how they were dangerous. I thought we were just navigating the normal awkwardness between a new mom and a mother-in-law. I had no idea she was documenting every perceived misstep for her online audience. The video was my breaking point. She cried about how she was trying to gently parent but was being constantly undermined by boomer advice. The comments were a horror show, hundreds of strangers calling me a narcissist, telling Ashley to go no contact for her own mental health. I felt sick. I felt humiliated. I immediately called my son, Mark, who tried his usual peacemaking routine. "Mom, that's just how her generation vents. It's not personal." It felt incredibly personal. I hung up with him and called Ashley directly. The conversation was a disaster. She claimed it was her platform and she had a right to share her story. I told her that my story and my grandson's was not content for her to exploit for clicks and sympathy. I said, "You have a problem with me, you pick up the phone. You don't broadcast it to the entire world." She told me I just didn't get it. I finally snapped. "You're right, I don't, but I get this. You won't have to worry about me stomping on any more boundaries. Find another babysitter." And I hung up. It's been a week of suffocating silence. Mark is begging me to apologize for the family's sake. My husband thinks I went too far, but I feel like a line was crossed that I can never uncross. The thought of being in her home, wondering if our conversation is being recorded for her next post, makes me feel ill. So am I the asshole?